Hey everybody, this is Erika Szabo, welcome back. So today I'm going to be doing a review for a game that's very near and dear to me, and that is The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask on the 3DS. I'm so happy that this version of the game is finally released. I think we were waiting for it for a very long time, and there were lots of rumors going on and all kinds of things, but this game is one that's stuck around with me for years and years. Like, I still have my copy on the N64, and I'm very happy to own this baby because it's one of those games that I think I got to appreciate more with age. It covers a lot of mature themes that might be a little bit alienating to some people and might be a reason why some people don't like it as much, but I think as I got older and as I got to appreciate the themes, I got to appreciate the game that much more. So I'm really happy to be reviewing the 3DS version. Before I do the review, I do have something I want to talk about though. So first off, I want to apologize for this delay. I know I said I was going to get this review out there that much sooner, but there's been a lot of stuff going on with Nintendo that's really slowed me down and has really had me internalize a lot of issues and a lot of things that I don't necessarily agree with in terms of marketing strategies that Nintendo is promoting. Now, one thing that I'm really happy about on my channel is that I can be as genuine as possible, and I want to continue being as genuine as possible, but when I don't agree with a company's business strategies and scope, that's a little bit of a problem for me. And as of late, Nintendo's been throwing a lot of controversial things at us, whether we're talking about the Nintendo Creator Program for YouTubers, or we're talking about product monopolies. The list goes on, really, and I feel like they've all hit us at once. This year in particular has been a very negative year for the company, which is very interesting considering the fact that Nintendo has always, or for a very long time at least, has promoted a sense of positivity in the gaming community. It's something I relish and something that I think all of us should appreciate and all of us should be encouraged of, but I don't think that Nintendo has necessarily followed through with that. And that's where my hesitancies have come from, right? But at the same time, after a lot of thought and of course talking on social media, getting my thoughts out there, obviously having this sense of reluctance and not knowing what to do because I want to talk about this game I love, but I also don't necessarily know if I want to how I want to express Nintendo as a whole, I decided I would respectfully and maturely vocalize my opinions and my concern about Nintendo, just as a way to get my thoughts out there and to have you know what my thoughts are. I'm not here to boycott. I know some YouTubers are boycotting, but I'm not really into that. I'm not really into the idea of that. I try and promote positivity by keeping an open mind, right? And while I might not agree with these marketing strategies, that doesn't seem fair for you guys. That doesn't seem fair for the people who work so hard on making these games. As someone who is delving into game development, maybe not as far, or I haven't gotten as far as other people have, I know how hard it is, and I know how important it is for us to be able to appreciate the people who create these games for us, even with Nintendo, even if it's dealing with a company that we might have issues with at this point in time. So that said, I'm going to continue on with this review. I'm going to continue on as though it were by any other company. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me that I'm not going to be paid for this video, that I'm not going to receive any sort of revenue because Nintendo will claim all of the video content I will be providing here, because frankly, I think that offers better quality. I want to offer you as good a quality content as possible. That's not just going to be me on camera. That's going to be me showing you the game, you know, in a whole. Like, I want to show you everything. And if that's at my cost, then so be it. So be it. I really don't care at this point, just because I care about this game and I care about these games that this company provides us, and I want to support that. I want to support the games. I don't necessarily support the company at this point in time. I really hope that they reconsider some of these strategies they've taken on, and frankly it does upset me. I think you can tell, like, it definitely upsets me because it's a heated thing, right? But I'm gonna continue on with this. I'm gonna continue on with this no matter what. As a YouTuber, I feel like it's important for me to be a messenger to you guys. I've mentioned this several times in the past. Being a messenger, being a presenter is very important. And if it's at my cost, then, you know, what can I really do? What can I do? I can, I can rant about it as much as I want, I can complain, but at the end of the day, it's the content that matters. So that said, let's move on to the review. A direct sequel to Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask can be enjoyed as both a continuation and standalone in the much-loved series. What begins as an innocent search for Link's Fairy Navi, the story meanders into a meeting with Skull Kid, now in possession of an evil mask. After a series of events, Kid Link becomes cursed and is transported to Termina, an uncomfortably familiar world on the brink of being destroyed by a giant moon looming above. Majora's Mask has been heralded as being one of the best in the series, but then there are also some who consider it to be one of the weakest. So that might make you wonder, why are opinions so polarized? I think it's because this game in particular really strays from the norm. We don't have Ganon, we don't have very much of Zelda. Instead, here we have very dark themes that delve into the many stages of grief and ultimately death. I mean, frankly, I'm not surprised that when people first played this game, it was unsettling. And, for good reason. It's not the most kosher of experiences in The Legend of Zelda. However, the more you play it, I do feel that the experience becomes that much more enriching and that much more true to our lives. What makes the experience so unique is that each locale in Termina represents a different form of grief, whether we're talking denial, anger, desperation, depression, and acceptance. Each boss battle represents a different form of grief, and conquering those anxieties allows us and Termina's inhabitants to overcome the grief and despair and appreciate the beauty of what we have here and now. The amount of symbolism in Majora's Mask is astounding, and gives even the most familiar of faces and locales that much more meaning. It's a beautiful culmination of everything we thought we knew in Ocarina of Time, but made that much more real and rich. Visually speaking, Majora's Mask 3D has received a total visual overhaul and looks brighter, more crisp than ever, breathing new life into Termina in the most amazing of ways. There are plenty of games deserving of a visual overhaul, but Majora's Mask couldn't be more deserving. So in terms of additional content, I'll mention some of the things, but there's also a lot that I want to leave as like a sense of surprise, right? So just like in Ocarina of Time 3D, there's now a map on the bottom screen, great for planning out quests, and there are tons of them in this game. You can also assign items for quick switching, great for switching masks on the fly, and it also supports Circle Pad Pro, which seems like it would be a huge asset in a 3D world as expansive as this. I definitely need to consider getting one of these. The core dungeon bosses have also been altered slightly, with giant, creepy Majora's Eye serving as the weak point. I'm not sure how I necessarily feel about hand-holding, especially considering boss battles are, in my opinion, their own kind of puzzle, but I also don't feel like this ruined the experience, just as how the weak point glyphs in Shadow of the Colossus didn't ruin my experience either. The trek isn't nearly as laborious as in Colossus, of course, but Majora's battles are still thrilling. Majora's Mask is very near and dear to me for its purpose alone. By no means is it a perfect game, but it doesn't really affect the experience, nor was it something that I felt like I really needed to express in this review. Now, of course, Majora's Mask 3D did provide some improvements that were necessary for the game and will help you savor the game and enjoy the game that much more. I find it really great that we have a game like this, a game that's so thoughtful and so meticulously put together, and what's even better is when a game like that receives the attention it so deserves. So I hope you enjoyed my review of Majora's Mask 3D. Just wanted to give you a little bit of an idea of the game, some of the new improvements it has to offer, but still offer a little bit of mystery if you are interested in playing it and you do want a bit of a surprise, if there's, because there's some really good ones too. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this. I'm really actually happy I went along with this. I hope you enjoyed that intro too. Whether or not you agree with my opinion on Nintendo, that's up to you. You know what I mean? We're all open to have our own opinions, and I'd like to think that we can all respect each other's opinions too. So at the end of the day, it's about the game, and it's about a really amazing game that I really wanted to express, and I especially wanted to express those stages of grief that it has to offer, and the sense of symbolism it provides in terms of those modes of grief. I think that that's a really important part of the game, and something that I was really surprised by, and something I guess I wasn't really expecting from a Legend of Zelda game. As amazing as these games are, this is by far one of the most thoughtful in the series. I want to give a big thank you actually to Nintendo for providing me with a code for this game for a review. It was a really great experience, and I'm really happy I got to review it here for you. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed. Please stay tuned for lots more videos, okay? Alright,